Okay, we're here.
Welcome back to the GFY Studios and a new edition of Drowning in Content, where we virtually hold hands and take a leap into hyperspace. And I am Charlie, as usual, and we have a special guest today. And today's special guest is
Lydia Manning.
Hi.
Hey, what's up? Was I supposed to do that, or was I?
I appreciate it. You didn't have to, but I appreciate it. Please tell the people about yourself and who you are.
Hello, people. My name is Lydia Manning. I'm a Portland-based comedian and type of actor who, my roles mostly depend on you not knowing who I am. So thank you for having no idea who I am, for looking at me and being like, who is this bitch? I did just tell you, but please erase it from your memory. So if you ever see me at dinner theater or, like trying to blend in or like, on screen with a little blurb under my name that says real person, not an actor, be like, that sounds about right.
Real person. I like that. You can pull the mic closer too if you need more. It's got some leeway. There you go.
Yeah, I want it closer to my mouth than you told me to have it.
Well, I mean, then you can lean. You can relax.
I can never relax, Charlie. That's where you're wrong. No, that's okay. I'm decent at relaxing. I'm gonna really recline this.
I was having a similar conversation with Patrick Thomas Perkins, where he's like, Charlie, I want you to have fun and be able to play while we're doing the podcast. I'm like, oh, Patrick, you're so sweet, but I can never have fun. I'm working. Like, I need to make sure everything's rolling and.
Oh. Anyway. We played chess earlier. That was fun.
Yeah,
for me.
If I'm doing a podcast, I'm like, no, I need to make sure everything sounds good.
Oh, right. But no, I understand that. Hosting it's a task. It's work.
Yeah, totally. So, okay, we were talking earlier, and you have podcast experience. Would you like to tell the people about some of the podcasts you've been on?
Yeah, sure. I used to co-host this really cool podcast called Spec Script. You could still find our old stuff wherever you find podcasts if you really want to. It's a cool podcast where we would get someone to write an episode of a TV show they've never watched before. A friend of this show, Melina Best, wrote an episode of One Tree Hill for us once.
Wow.
It's pretty cool. And we'd get just a cast of comedian and just cool people to do a table read of it.
I love those kind of ideas where it's like getting people to interact in semi-scripted ways and then just, see what happens from that. That's the That's the comedy for me, the humor for me.
Yeah, I love writing for table read formats, honestly, because I really like to put jokes in stage directions.
Yeah.
It's something that when I've submitted scripts to things, I've gotten the feedback that I don't need to be doing that. They're meant to be read aloud.
Yeah, but like Shakespeare had that famous. I mean, he had a lot of great ones, but he had like Exit followed by a bear.
What play is that?
I don't know. Coriolanus or something. 12th Night. I don't know. I'm just gonna name all the Shakespeare plays I know.
Will I get 12th Night if I haven't seen 1st through 11th Night?
12th Night is She's the Man, right?
Oh yes, which She's the Man is probably my favorite poorly aged movies. Yeah, it's very funny.
Have you seen Amanda Bynes lately?
No.
She got like a total face redo and stuff. It's crazy.
Oh, so she could be in the room right now. Are you Amanda Bynes?
I'm not.
Are you Amanda Bynes?
Although I do understand why you would expect me, because she is the man. I am a man.
Which one of these buttons should I push to get an applause sound effect?
We don't have an applause anymore. We have a laugh because I got rid of it for fart buttons. But close enough.
Oh, I hate that.
Yeah. It was like, no matter how many buttons I have, there's never enough to figure some more out.
I was just imagining, like, coming on stage or something. The host was like, give it up for Lydia Manning. And instead of clapping, everybody just farts really loud. That's the image you put in my head by replacing the applause button with a fart sound effect.
That's from The Winter's Tale. I've done my research now. Winter's Tale is where he's exits pursued by a bear.
Oh, thank you. I should read that aloud sometime.
Yeah, great one. So you done spec scripts, you do comedy, anything else people need to know?
Yeah, people should know my birthday is January 6th.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's coming up. If any of your listeners just like to get your guests presents, they can.
Well, I would say we're going to celebrate, but I think we're going to be in Washington, D.C., so it'll be a little busy, unfortunately. Sorry.
That's okay. I'm actually doing the party the weekend after, so
okay.
you can do both.
Oh, okay. Great. Yeah, we're going to do a liberal January 6th. It's going to happen. We're going to storm the Capitol.
Last year, I did have an insurrection-themed birthday party, and this year I decided not to because I didn't want to actually do that in election year. I was like, I can have a politically charged party in poor taste any other year.
Any other year.
So next year, probably. We'll see what actually happens this year. I don't know.
So, like I said, this podcast is about the conceit behind it. The idea behind it is that the internet is just too big. No one person can know it all. And there's all these different places and things on the internet, that these little corners that you've seen or heard of and nobody else knows about, or not everybody knows about. So to start us off, what kind of stuff do you like to watch online, if anything at all?
Oh, man. I am very, very into Homestar Runner.
Okay.
I noticed, like, in just outside the studio, there is a Trogdor the Burninator drawn on the wall. So it seems like this is not a corner of the internet that you have not been on. But lately, I've been rewatching a lot of Homestar stuff.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, I definitely was super into Homestar, like when I was, it was like 20 years ago. Like when I was like 14, 15, middle school into high school. Just the SB emails, just like.
Did you ever email Strong Bad?
I never did.
Oh, I did a few times. I never made it onto the show. It's his loss, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
what else? Yeah.
I made it onto this podcast, even though I couldn't get onto Spemail. I appreciate you having me, Charlie.
Well, maybe if we boost you, we're signal boosting you, then you'll get on.
I should email Strong Bad now.
We'll send this clip and we'll say, hey, you missed out. We'll send this right here. But
I was deep into Homestar. Have you ever played Peasant's Quest?
Oh yeah, Peasant's Quest. There's several Trogdor themed games, at least several.
There's a board game now too.
Wow. It was Peasant's Quest, the text, the type to.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was.
Throw baby.
Yes.
You got naked net.
I see.
You can't go up the mountain because only peasants can go up the mountain, and even though you are a peasant, you aren't dressed like a peasant, you don't smell like a peasant, and you're not on fire like a peasant. So you have to get all those things checked off, and then they'll let you up the mountain to fight Trogdor.
Yeah, see, those games, those type of games are notoriously very hard. I mean, there was the Terry Pratchett Discworld game, which was similar, like a type, whatever they call it. What is that type of game called? Text to...
Typey.
Yeah, the typey
type.
You type the command. Notoriously very, very hard. Douglas Adams made his own Hitchhiker's Guide game that was similar. Again, it's just like trying to outthink the game, and it's like seemingly so simple. It's just like, no, there's a hidden logic that you just don't understand. Oh,
it made me mad sometimes because it'd just be like a very specific word that you have to land on.
Yeah.
I remember at one point in Peasant's Quest, I was trying to get the old man rub, and the word that you have to type is steal. It's steal old man rub. And I was typing like get, grab, take, like all these words that if I were talking to a human person and they were like, that's wrong, I would punch them. No, that's the same thing. Take and steal are the same word.
No.
But not to a computer.
No. Just a database where it's...
The robot uprising is going to start by devastating us emotionally.
Probably, yeah. You'll be like, stop killing me. And it's like, you didn't say the magic word.
It'll be...
Yeah, the correct word was cease, actually, but you didn't desist. We would have taken, but no, not stop.
I remember, like, very old AI. There was this program going around on Facebook where it would tell you how like objectively pretty you are.
Oh yeah.
Ruined my life. Horrible.
Awful. Yeah, that's always based off like symmetry. And,
Oh
like,
yeah, there were some ugly people with really good score just because like both sides of their face were the same ugly.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, we don't need to delve too deep into brain chemistry or psychology or anything like that, but like we think of, our brains can see, like, kind of smooth over a lot of stuff, especially in person with somebody, where it's like maybe not objectively compared to a supermodel or based on the simple algorithm of like just symmetrical things. Brains actually like faces that are slightly not symmetrical because then they're more distinctive. They'll stay in your head.
They're easier to remember.
Yeah.
I've definitely, I struggle with facial recognition a lot of the time. And for a lot of people, it's just like, well, I apologize, but you're just a very boring kind of attract is what it is. Maybe like if you were uglier, I would remember that we've met. Or if you were just like way hotter or slightly uglier, and I would know who you are. But
yeah, sorry, 8s and 9s need not apply. Like, cannot remember.
8s and 9s need apply repeatedly.
Oh yeah, because I can't remember. Right. Have you ever taken like a face blindness test or anything?
Kind of. There was this test that I did that I think my aunt found linked in the New Yorker because there was some article about detectives, so people like with the opposite of face blindness who are just like really, really insanely good at facial recognition. And it would show you a bunch of really similar looking people, and you'd have to like determine which ones you've seen already. And it was so hard. I did very poorly.
Interesting. I've been seeing a lot of I was watching someone take a test like that because it was linked. He took an autism test, and then it was linked after that. And he scored really low on the autism test, and he also scored really low on the facial recognition test. So
scoring low on the autism test means you're bad at having autism?
Meaning he has very low likelihood of autism.
Okay.
Like the one thing was just like he doesn't like certain texture. Overall his score was like in the 30s. Whereas like the highest score I've seen is like 127, which is like right below you definitely have it kind of thing.
Okay.
I just recently took an autism test. That's also why I kind of bring it up on the previous episode of Drowning in Content. I took one and I definitely have it. So
Fun.
I win.
Yeah, drowning in autism.
Yeah. Well, so my brother, this is kind of tangential, but my brother wanted to go to a Ren fair. You kind of heard about him, seen it, and he likes medieval stuff. He likes wizards and that kind of stuff. So he dressed up as a wizard, and he went to this Ren fair, and there was a palm reader. And so he paid $20, went to the palm reader, and they like looked at his hand and like looked at him, and they're like, "Do you have autism? You could have just taken this free test. Like, why'd you just pay $20 to the palm reader?" And also, I don't think the palm readers necessarily.
You have an autistic palm.
I don't think you're necessarily qualified to determine that. That's not your realm, is it?
I mean, that's honestly the only diagnosis I would trust.
If a palm reader told you.
Yeah.
Okay. I do want to go to a palm reader again. Tangential.
It does feel good when they're touching your palm.
Okay. I wouldn't know, I guess.
Wait, you said you wanted to go again?
No, I've never been.
Oh, okay. Oh, well, it does feel good when they're touching your palms. They put, like a salve or like some old man rub on there.
Oh.
That I'm sure they stole.
Yeah, definitely. Because they're peasants.
Palm readers are all peasants.
Okay, so Homestar Runner and autism. Anything else that you besides that?
Okay, so this is kind of an embarrassing one. You probably don't get a lot, but I did get on a kick of reading a lot of Miss Manor and similar articles. Where one of those columns where people write in for advice.
Right.
Miss Manners was my favorite because she is savage. She really would like tear the writers a new one sometime. Be like, Miss Manners thinks you're acting like a little bitch. And she always speaks about her, like, she always uses the third person like that. It's never I. It's always Miss Manners. Yeah, and look at her side eye, smug profile pic. Yeah, my partner wants me to snub our neighbors like he does. Am I obliged to dislike people my longtime partner dislikes? Miss Manners probably doesn't think so.
The support of a partner is powerful, but as yours demonstrates, people do not always fully understand how it's supposed to work. It is reasonable of your partner to expect you to take sides against misbehaving dog owners. A cool demeanor towards those who do not control their animals is reasonable. That could still include a neutral greeting, but it is also your job to tell your partner when public behavior is wrong. Continuing to snub someone for something that in the first case is no longer happening or in the second case happened years ago is rude. Your partner should be dissuaded from such behavior rather than emulated.
That one wasn't super savage.
From October.
Yeah, that's when people are really having etiquette problems. Miss Manners is confident said person will understand your meaning, which is that without Hank's assistance, there will be no commissions since the store will not be seeing your money. I got really into just when she would totally just burn somebody who wrote in. I like getting on Reddit every now and then. Am I the asshole?
Yeah.
It's always more fun when they obviously are.
Yeah.
It's always more fun when somebody's just like coming there being like, can you believe this other person? And you're like, yes.
Yes, I can. But see, that's why I had to stop with that, because I'm like, after a while, I'm realizing, oh, every post on here that I'm reading, they're clearly the asshole. Okay, they're just baiting. This is all fake. Like nothing on this site is real. And then I just stopped reading Reddit.
Nothing anywhere is real.
Exactly. Dead internet theory. Am I right?
I'm not familiar.
So dead internet theory is the theory that nothing on any of, like, especially Reddit, but and I can't say nothing, but a lot of these long blog posts and stuff are just fabricated. And at a certain point, like especially with AI now, people just started making new fake posts to get fake internet points. So there's so many bots and so many phishing accounts and things. So there's the population of Reddit is probably artificially inflated to a certain degree so that everything we read is just written by bots, or most of the stuff that has gained a lot of traction in the algorithms just from bots. And then when you Google, when you're Googling something, if you have a question, it just brings up a Reddit post. So Google just goes to Reddit, Reddit just goes to Google, and it's all just bots clicking on each other. So a lot of what we see on the internet is just false. That's the theory.
When I was on my big Miss Manners kick, it was because Google just kept suggesting it to me.
Right.
But every now and then I'd be like, oh, I gotta see what this side eye lady has to say about these people's problems. A little thing I did for myself, a little self-care, was I found out that you can just turn off the Discover thing on the Google app, where it like suggests articles to you.
Right.
You can just tell it not to. I didn't know you could do that. And it took me a while to figure out how to do it, because I ended up on Reddit where someone else was asking, how do I get Google to stop suggesting clickbait to me? And the people, instead of just like saying you can turn that feature off, were like, well, it suggests things based on what you click. And I'm like, that's not even the question.
We understand.
That's not even the question. So they're like, well, my Google app suggests cool things to me. And if yours is suggesting lame things, it's because you're stupid.
Yeah.
But that's
just a reflection of you. Mine suggests me particle physics and, quantum theory. I don't know what you're looking at.
I never waste my time on the internet. All my internet use is very productive, and also being on this particular Reddit thread.
I had to move away from Reddit. I just was like, I've specifically curated this whole feed, so I'm only seeing things that I like and agree with. Which, like, to a certain point or a certain degree, like, that's fine, that's good. Especially, I'm I'm unfortunately somewhat political, so I'm like, yeah, I want to see.
Do you vote?
Yeah, I voted.
Wow.
Third party, let's go. But like, yeah, it's just like, oh yeah, I agree with these people's opinions, so I like when they come up in my feed. But I'm like, this should just all be cats. Like, that's all I really want to see is like cats and my family. But do I do anything about it? No, I just follow more accounts.
That's what social media used to be.
Yeah.
When you at
So
first
innocent.
were like, what kind of things do you like watching on the internet? You know, for a second I was like, I don't want to admit that like my main search is like just exes. I just like stalking my exes online. Okay, I just like seeing what they're up to. Shout out to Brandon Uribe for getting engaged recently.
Sorry. Again, we don't have an applause or anything.
No, that's exactly the reaction that should have gotten.
Yeah, I try, like, I've been following exes sometimes, but I had to just like stop. And recently one of my exes like re-added me on Instagram. It was like, you know, we dated in high school, so this is like almost 20 years ago, so it's like not a big deal. But she's got like 3 kids and she's like a dental hygienist. She's doing great. And she keeps posting all this great stuff. And I'm like, yeah, I don't want to see that. I'm sorry. I'm very happy for you.
She's probably just a bot.
Yeah. But then she like hit me up. She's like, so cool that you're still doing music. And I'm like, yeah, so cool. You have a fulfilling life and wonderful children. But I've got my drums, so I'm happy, I guess.
Would you rather have drums or children?
Yeah, drums 100% of the time. I'm sorry, I love my drums.
That's good. See, you can be fulfilled.
Yeah.
And they look just like you.
Oh, thanks. I mean, I'd take that as a compliment because I think my drums are really pretty.
Oh, they are.
Thank you. Yeah, at a certain point, I was just like, what fulfills me? Oh, creating stuff, even if it's dumb stuff, just making, which I guess is like having a kid. You're
creating dumb
creating
stuff. It's
dumb
just content. Having kids is just pushing out content.
Yeah, but I can be a little bit less precious about my content where I'm just like, I don't care. It's just a dumb YouTube video I made when I went on.
That's my son's name.
Dumb YouTube video? Yeah. I'm just imagining like a clickbait child's name. Doctors hate this one kid, you know? 12 tips for having a dumb kid. I'm sorry. Your children aren't dumb. They're all brilliant little angels. Do not email us. Well, unless you want to, I guess.
Yeah, you can email us.
Speaking of family YouTubers, you've seen there's a woman. She had like 3 kids. 2 of them were in high school, I think. And she got in trouble because when her kids were bad, she would not feed them. And like bad as in her arbitrary designation of what bad is. And then not only would she not feed them, she would post on YouTube like, they were bad, so they're not getting dinner tonight. Like making content out of neglecting her children. And they were getting bullied at school because their mom was a YouTuber, and so they would get in fights, and then if they got in a fight, then they were bad, so then they didn't get food. I just can't imagine, like, every time you're punished or, you know, everybody at school knows. It's like, oh yeah, I saw the new video your mom posted. So, like,
I heard you didn't eat last night.
Yeah, I was like, kids are cruel as it is. Like, I can't imagine that. Having to like go to school and just like having no friends.
Oh yeah, that sounds terrible.
Because of this specific, like, because literally everybody knows what's going on in your life all the time. And they know if they get close to you and they're your friend, they're going to be in the YouTube video too.
Yeah. Well, I'm just remembering like little moments where, you know, like my parents embarrassed me as a kid. It was just like, you know, where they're talking to their friends about me or like the extended family, and they just mentioned something very casual to themselves, but that to me as a kid was like, why would you say that?
Yeah.
Like how embarrassed I felt just in moments where they're like talking to 2 people. I can't imagine them just like being like, oh, I'm going to go out of my way to make like your business public.
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially when you're a kid, like everything is embarrassing.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah,
like don't tell them about like the meltdown I had at Chuck E. Cheese. Like, what do you?
Yeah, it's just like I'm stressed out because this is happening, and then you're making more content out of it which is making me more stressed out. So it just seems like a perpetuating cycle. Ruby Franke, 42, tearfully apologized in court as she learned her fate. She previously pled guilty to starving and abusing her children. She appeared along with her former business partner, Jody Hildebrandt, 54, who received an identical sentence. The judge sentenced them to serve 4 terms of 1 to 15 years each.
Identical sentences. That's pretty cute. That's like couples goals.
Sentences will run consecutively and are the maximum for each count under Utah law. 2 of Frank's children, aged 9 and 11 at the time, lived in a concentration camp-like setting and called her a significant threat to the community. The children were regularly denied food, water, beds to sleep in, and virtually all forms of entertainment. In court, Franke was in tears following the sentence. She apologized to her children and said, "I was so disoriented that I believed dark was light and right was wrong. I was led to believe that this world was an evil place filled with cops who control hospitals that injure, government agencies that brainwash, church leaders who lie and lust, husbands who refuse to protect, and children who need abuse."
You make some good points there.
I mean, not wrong.
Some of it.
The 2 women were arrested after Frank's malnourished 12-year-old son climbed out of a window at Hildebrandt's house in Evans, Utah. Police said the children ran to a neighbor's house and asked for food and water. He had lacerations from being tied up with a rope.
Whoa, well, are these videos good? Like,
I don't know if any of them are still up. Maybe they are.
Like, welcome back. Today we're going to be showing how to hog tie your 12-year-old. Here's how to cook a delicious lunch for your kids and then throw it in the trash because they don't deserve food.
Yeah, I don't think her...
No, it's like just a lot of stuff about her.
Yeah. I don't think the account's still up, unfortunately. Okay. Anyway.
I honestly really want to watch one of these videos. I'm so curious, like, because you hear, like, the stuff she's doing, but, like, what is she doing on camera? What kind of channel is this?
From what the little I've seen and remember, it's a lot of just like, talking to the camera, just like, here's what's going on today. Yeah, and it was like Jason he's not getting any dinner tonight because he didn't do his homework or whatever like that. But it's vlogging. It is very just like, here's my day today. We have so much to do, guys. Like, come with me as I get ready.
Well, you don't have to cook. That's one thing off your plate.
She still has to cook for her.
Oh, good point. She wasn't bad, so she gets to eat.
Yeah, she always gets to eat. She does seem kind of almond mom-esque, though, so maybe she didn't eat much.
Almonds are for closers.
Are you aware of the almond mom?
Yes.
Okay. Abused by a cult leader. That's it. I'm not watching all of this. Oh, is it called The 8 Passages?
Did she have 8 children?
She is Mormon. So.
Mormon and lesbian, right?
No, so that was her business partner, Jody.
Oh, okay.
Kids take me to jail.
Oh, I want to watch that.
Abby gets braces. It's.
That looks so gross.
So I think this is the eldest daughter.
Oh.
I think she took over the channel, maybe. Which if your mom's in jail.
You can tell this camera in your face.
You could tell me and everyone in the world.
Okay, well, where's the kid who's tied up? That's
that kind of stuff I don't think happened on camera. I'll be honest.
That's what I want. He's just off screen, just out of frame every time.
Moment. Here we go.
But it looks like only I get.
I think this was the kid that was tied up, the young one. So we can monitor, invade your privacy.
I wasn't her brother. We've all told that lie.
Oh, yeah. Okay, this is the moment I remember right here, coming up here. His bedroom was taken away for 7 months. He had to sleep with the younger kids. I think that's funny.
I mean,
I don't. I would never do that kind of thing to my younger siblings. Just like I don't have any friends. I don't make friends because I don't want them to have to deal with any of this. And I'm just going to become an athlete and get a scholarship and get out of here. Anyway,
nice.
So.
Nice.
Oh, they've had that nice little downer.
But, I mean, that is pretty funny. I am a youngest sibling, so I wouldn't have been able to do anything like that.
Right.
I would have been the one getting that pulled on me.
But you could do the classics like saran wrap over the toilet or
Yeah, all the piss related stuff. I did all that.
or ketchup packets under the toilet seat, explode on the back of your legs.
I've never done.
You never done that?
No.
Or replace sugar with salt.
Did you do the ketchup packet thing?
I've never done it.
No.
I just know about these things.
Okay. Never heard of it.
Because I was an only child until I was 10, and then I didn't live with my sisters when they were born. Then I was 15 when my mom had her second kid. These are all like half siblings. So I was kind of beyond pranks, and I wasn't gonna prank a literal baby. It's not as fun if you're like
pranking a baby.
You're like handed a lollipop to a baby and then take it away because they don't have grip strength. Like it doesn't matter. So I never got to do any of these things, but one great prank, which again this wasn't me. It was like April Fool's Day. My ex, when she was living with a roommate, she turned everything in the apartment upside down. So like every plate, every bowl, every cup in the cupboards, every pan, every pot.
It's a lot of effort.
Yeah, she spent like 4 hours just turning everything upside down while her roommate was sleeping. I'm like, that's pretty good because it's fairly harmless. Like, it's just annoying.
We had one of my friends in high school one Christmas just got everybody weird gifts from the thrift store. And I ended up with this creepy doll who my brother named Cutthroat Louie. And we would like just move the doll around, just put the doll place in. And when I went to college and then like came back during break, the doll's hair was shorter and nobody owned up to cutting the doll's hair. You know, like my brother would sometimes put like, like the cake knife in the doll's hand, like put it by my room or whatever. And it was like who cut Cutthroat Louie's hair? Who gave this doll a haircut? And nobody owned up to it. Like this doll just cutting his own hair? He's just giving himself haircuts? That's terrifying.
Well, maybe he went to a stylist or a barber. He got his haircut.
Yeah, that's terrifying.
I know. It's a different approach.
How did he get there? Is this doll calling Ubers? Is he just go on a very long walk? Long journey?
Speaking of haunted dolls, okay, a couple things. First off, check out my other podcast, the paranormal podcast. It's called Late Night Legends. We had a great episode on haunted dolls and other haunted objects. Check that one out. But it is the holiday season, and speaking of kind of haunted dolls, did your family participate in Elf on a Shelf?
We did not. I'm familiar with it though.
It seems like it is a relatively new phenomenon. This is
I think it was like it's a little past my time.
Yeah, just the idea behind it is similar to the Ruby Franke or the mommy vlogging thing. It is awful idea, whereas like this is a doll. It's like a toy elf, and he has a direct line to Santa, and he's watching you all the time. And then what they do is they move the elf around at night while the kids are sleeping, so that every day it seems like the elf is doing something else, or is participating in some activity around the house or set up in a different pose. Well, that sounds a lot like what was happening to you, but a little bit more sinister. I don't know. Somehow.
Yeah, honestly, like Cutthroat Louie's pretty chill. It used to freak me out. And I think the doll itself, it's not like excessively creepy. It's just like dolls are creepy.
I hear that a lot, yeah.
He was also like on a stand, so he like stood upright and you could move his limbs around. He's like one of those like old like wire frame things. You could like put him in different poses, kind of like at least his arms.
Yeah,
you could pose his arms and his hands, so you could have him hold things. That's how he cut his hair.
Apparently, yeah. This is Robert the Haunted Doll, and the story goes that this child living in like Key West, Florida, had this doll. It was creepy, and he was freaked out by it. And then when he grew up, he gave it to his child for some reason. And then that child was like, crazy, freaky things would happen. And now this doll lives in a museum and people visit him.
And die.
Well, my friend Joan, she went recently and she went and saw Robert and said hi and asked if he wanted to be on the podcast. He didn't respond.
Oh, bummer.
I think it would be really cool if he
I think he would be a really cool guest.
I can't remember the name of that other.
Robert's a great name for a haunted doll.
Yeah, and it's a cute little doll. I'm not.
He has his own little teddy bear.
Yeah, I'm not totally freaked out by this one. The ones that get me are like the super lifelike ones, super lifelike baby dolls. Have you seen they fill them with warm water so that they're warm and they're like all gooey and like very freaky to me. Again, my ex's mom collected dolls and she was part of like this doll trading ring where they would like send dolls and clothes back and forth to each other. She had one of these like clockwork moving dolls. It's like a baby bassinet and there's a little baby doll inside and you wind it up and the arms move and it like freaked me out.
Are you okay?
I mean, I don't have to go back in that house, so I'm fine. But she had essentially one room that was just her doll. There was like a little folding partition door kind of thing, and they would just leave it open, and the doll room would just be pitch black, and I would just be like, "Can we close that door?" And they're like, "No, because the cats like to go in there." I'm like, "Yeah, I don't care. Can we? I'm sorry, cats. Like, you can cuddle with me and protect me from these creepy dolls, please." That was the only time I was really like freaked out by dolls, though. Just like, it wasn't just one. It was like en masse, like 30 dolls.
Yeah, because you could take one doll.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. One little baby doll. That's nothing. Now my mom collects American Girl dolls, which again, I'm not as freaked out by because I know they're all plucky young women that contributed to the creation of this country. They all got their own stories and I appreciate them. And my mom dresses them up in different costumes depending on the season. So
wow,
it's like very adorable. But
that's pretty cute.
For the Olympics this summer, she dressed them up in like Olympics outfits and they're all like doing activity. Some people make podcasts, some people dress up their American Girl dolls.
Yeah, I'm sure some people have podcasts about dressing up their American Girl doll.
Probably true. Do you ever have an American Girl doll?
I didn't.
Are you aware of it?
I am. I've read because they all came with a book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And some of them multiple books.
I've read at least one of the books.
Do you remember when it was set? Or?
I do not.
Okay.
Because I remember more than anything, just the little blurbs, just the little like, oh, here's who this character is and like what they're about, more so than like getting too into anyone in particular.
They have movies too.
Really?
There's been multiple American Girl movies based on the character.
I had a dollhouse that came with a family of 4 dolls, and those dolls aren't scary at all. Like the little ones,
Yeah.
The little ones who can like go in the house. I could take so many of those.
Take them. Yeah.
Maybe. Actually, it would be, they could be terrifying. But
again, if there was like 1,000 of them, I would be freaked out because then it's like Lilliput and I'm like Gulliver and they're going to tie me down.
You're right, yeah. They could have little weapons. Be stabbing you with needles and stuff. That could be bad.
But like one house, one family, I can relate to them. Like it's going to be okay.
So to relate to them, because it came with a mom, a dad, a brother and a sister, and I'm in a family of 3 children, and so we needed to have a baby so that our family could be represented. So I remember taking baby Jesus from one of our nativity scenes and being like, this is me. Like this is a baby Jesus. That's me in this family. It's, the 3 gender, one daughter and baby,
of course.
Or brother, sister, and baby. I identified as a baby well into my teens. I still on some level kind of do. But
I identify as a baby. Well, no, I guess I don't.
The dad of that family, because sometimes we'd take like the dolls on vacation, just, like outside. I lost him.
Oh, no.
And so there was a whole storyline with that.
Single mother raising, like a widow raising 3 kids, 2 kids and a son of God. That's a lot.
Yeah. And then We found him in the fish pond outside, and then his hair was green. So it was like he went because he'd like been in a pond. We had this whole like midlife crisis, like going off to find himself storyline, and then he comes back and his wife was very displeased.
That's like some soap opera stuff. That's
exactly.
It, like faked his own death,
dyed his hair
green. He comes back. He's played by a different actor, but it's the same guy. I'm actually his secret twin. Classic. Okay, well, anything else? Any other online things you want to draw our attention to? We've had some great.
Can we pull up a video that is on my mind?
Sure.
So this video was a very popular anti-drinking and driving PSA in New Zealand. I studied abroad in New Zealand in college, and one of my friends came and visited recently and showed me this. It's very much in the New Zealand zeitgeist. Look up Monique thinks you're dumb, and that should bring it up. I'm not gonna drink and drive. Yeah, I think Legend, that first one. Love that accent.
Wait. Really cool. Chrissy?
Nice.
You know, I can't grab your ghost chips. Let it be known that was a really good accent that I just did.
Fantastic. Well, that's great. Thank you for that. And thank you for all your submissions to the wide world of the internet, I guess. And as always, we're going to leave with something that I suggest.
Can't wait.
One topic on YouTube that I find really satisfying. I like working with my hands. I don't do a lot of building or making or crafting of my own, but I do like to look at it and think about how cool it would be if I did do it. And one of the YouTube creators who really got me into that is the Craftsman. And the Craftsman is this guy. He is super into animation, stop motion, just filmmaking in general. And he makes all kinds of fun videos about it, but we never see his face. He is represented by a sock puppet. So we're going to find a hand puppet, I guess not. I want to find one of my best ones, or one of his best ones.
One of my best ones. Oh, it's secretly you.
Yeah, it's me the whole time, actually. Almost there.
Flexible quarter.
Yeah, so he likes to make movie props. He makes toys. He releases his own lines of toys every once in a while, like limited runs. He's learned how to do mold injection. He's learned how to do all kinds of molding.
Good, that's the one I wanted to watch. Whoa,
how is he doing it?
I don't know.
Yeah, so he just go through some in-camera effects that you can add to make your videos simpler or more engaging, whatever. And so you just like change the audio afterwards to make it seem like the ball was levitating without a leaf blower. The best effect, this is it right here.
Is that a recurring character?
Yeah, so he made a toy of the free range chicken that wears the jetpack.
That'd be a great Halloween costume.
Right? See, I mean, that's really cool. That's really well done for like no budget. So anyway, yes, the Craftsman, City Craftin', Craft Nation. He does all kinds of stuff. He's very nerdy, but he's also like clearly this guy from the deep south who just like I think I figured out he's like from deep South Alabama, and like he just lives out there on the bayou and just makes stuff. Love him, and it's very satisfying to listen to. Some people don't like that voice. I love his voice.
Oh, I do.
Chris hates it. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, check out Craftsman. So anyway, thank you, Lydia, for being on drowning in content and for exploring the internet with us.
Thank you. Yeah, I feel pretty thoroughly drowned. I'm not gonna lie.
Drowned? Yeah. Well, you got to keep treading. The metaphors kind of lost. I don't know. Treading water.
We're in this too deep.
Yeah. Or, you can always just get out and dip your feet in. You don't have to jump in.
Sometimes you can just wade in content.
Yeah, this is like the water wings of the internet. We're going to help you float along. We'll get you there. Yeah, that was a good one. We got Ruby Franke. We got Miss Manners, all that. So.
Yeah. Oh, good old Miss Manners. I might go on another bender tonight.
Oh, dear. Uh-oh. Well, thank you. And we're kidding.